Bear with us, guys. Just waiting for Glenn to get back in the booth, and we will start our pre-match show. Hope if I did this. Morning, guys, or morning, afternoon, guys. Sorry, it's been a long day. I'm going to go ahead and start the show a little bit, just waiting for Glenn to get back in the booth. I guess I will start. Uh, Real quick, guys, be sure, before we get too deep into this, like, share, subscribe, all the above. We're on Twitch. We're on TikTok now, live, YouTube live, Facebook live, Instagram, X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We did start a Twitch. Still learning Twitch a little bit, but we are on that as well. So be sure to join the show. The comments and the thoughts, takes from you guys really help drive the show forward. It's fun to interact with you guys. We got the Dynamo taking on Charlotte FC tonight. It's hot. Currently, it's 92 degrees with a feel like of 106. It's pretty brutal. I know they'll probably have a hydration break at some point. Glenn is on his way. I just got notification. But anything you guys got about the match? Any thoughts early? Charlotte's one of those teams they're mid-table in the East. They're not a very interesting team to watch. Bold predictions. Anybody have bold predictions? Those are always fun. Glenn should be coming into the booth here any minute. But like I said, guys, be sure to like, share, subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, follow on Twitter/X, Instagram, and now on Twitch. TikTok, did I say that? Still waiting for Glenn. Teams are out warming up now. It is Pride Night here at Houston. So they're wearing their Pride warm-ups. Let's see. Jose is here in the chat. Kotako's here in the chat. Edson. Welcome, guys. We got about 9 minutes until pregame festivities start. So you're good. Just hit the green button.
Do I need a headset?
Yeah, you will. All I did was read the weather report, try to buy some time.
All right. So. How's everybody doing out there? All right. Did we do any starting lineups yet?
Not yet.
All right. So let's do them. Here's what the Dynamo put out after the 4-1 win at DC United. Steve Clark, Franco Escobar, Dorsey will be the wide men. Mikhail, Eric Sviatchenko. The two center backs, Artur, Amin Bassi, Latif Blessing, Hector Herrera, Sebastian Ferreira off the hat trick, Ibrahim Aliou. So that's the Dynamo starting lineup. Charlotte's going to miss out tonight on one of their key pieces in midfield, Ashley Westwood. It's Kalina in goal. It's Byrne. And the way they wrote this on the lineups here, they're trying to be a little bit cute here. But it's Byrne, Uronen, Malanda, and Prevet at the back. Bronico, Bender, and Diani. So Diani's coming in for Westwood tonight. Westwood is kind of their all-around leader in midfield. They're going to miss him. Liel Abada is an Israeli player. Tricky comes in from the wing. Kerwin Vargas, Colombian out wide, and then Patrick Ajimana. Now, if you go back to the Leagues Cup last summer, if you remember that game, Patrick Ajiman came off the bench, tied the game up for Charlotte, and then you remember that horrific back pass that went into the Dynamo goal from Mikhail. Big mix-up there. So Ajiman is coming off a 2-goal game. It was a game they knocked off Philadelphia. Runs the channels well, big, strong. He'll be a physical challenge. He's decent in the air. But this is a team under Dean Smith now that has found a way to get results. They're very vertical. You cannot make mistakes tonight against Charlotte FC. They're good at capitalizing on mistakes. They can do it in transition and set pieces. That's how they get their goals. And they're pretty vertical, to be fair. So that's what you got there. They're looking to make some changes, too. They're looking for a 9. They are thinking they may get back Karol Swiderski, if you remember him. He's the all-time leading scorer. He was with Poland in the Euros. They got knocked out, obviously, but they may get him back. They're working on trying to get him back. He's their all-time leading goal scorer. But they're also looking for a number 9. You saw my Ben Olsen interview on Soccer Matters this week. He wants them to be better with leads. The last time we were here and called a game, Seattle came back from a 2-0 deficit, had no business coming back and taking points. So you can look at it in a number of ways. You can say 5 games, 3 draws, 2 wins, and this is great. We're unbeaten in 5. Or you can look at it in a very different way and say, wow, you left a lot of points on the table, including at home where you only have a record of 3, 2, and 4. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. Now, like Charlotte, everybody's positioning themselves for new players coming in that they hope are going to platform them in the second half of the season. It's the part of MLS that allows you to not have to be that urgent, not a lot of consequence. You do have to be pretty respectful. Charlotte's 9-6-5. They've already got 32 points. So if you're talking about somewhere around 48 to 50 to make the playoffs, they're almost there. Their manager is interesting, Dean Smith. So he was the coach of Aston Villa in the English Championship, who were in 15th place. He took them to the Premier League and was a Premier League manager for a time period. He's 53 years old. He also coached at Leicester City, at Norwich. When he was at Aston Villa, he had players like Jack Grealish. He had an assistant coach named John Terry, who many people know from the Premier League. So there you have it. All right, what do you want? What do you got? What do you got, Justin?
Let's see. Do you believe the Dynamo have found the answer in their lack of scoring, or is it just too early to tell with the one game from Sebas Ferreira scoring a hat trick?
Interesting, because when the Dynamo start scoring some goals here over these last 5 games, 5 multi-goal games. Now, prior to that, it was a real struggle. I think, what did I jot down here? I put the numbers together in that the Dynamo have 13 goals in 5 games and have given up 8. And it's funny, when they started scoring, they started giving up more goals. And Ben Olsen was talking about being a little bit more pragmatic, being a little bit more balanced when it comes to managing a game. So do I think they've figured it out? No, not at all. Okay. I think there's a reason why you're bringing in a designated player in Ezequiel Ponce. He's Argentine. He is going to be your starter. There's no question about it. This isn't a squad player. Let's stop that nonsense. Sebas could score a bunch of goals here, and it'll still be Ponce because they've given him that guarantee. He's coming here to be a focal point of the team. I do believe Sebas could be moved. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
How do you beat Kalina? How are we scoring goals against Kalina? He has most clean sheets in the league this year.
Got 9.
Second best save percentage, and their defense has the second best goals against.
Well, people have beaten them. I mean, it's a good defending team. I think it's all the things that are Dynamo. I think you want a blend of a good wide game. That's going to mean Griffin Dorsey plowing forward on the right. What can Escobar bring on the left along with Aliou? I know Aliou is considered somebody who brings you width. He may bring you width when he receives the ball, but he brings it inside a lot. Let's just say that. I hope he's a little more mobile. I hope he takes up some different positions instead of just hugging the line. Escobar will get forward, but because he's right-footed, a lot of times he'll make an interior run with Aliou to his left. And then you want the blend of the combination play in the middle with Hector and Blessing and Amin Bassi. So it's never one thing or the other. I think it's a combination of things. So it's about, you want to beat Kalini, you got to create good chances.
What should we expect from the Dynamo tonight without Coco?
Latif Blessing gets the start. I think he's been on fire. I mean, he's a team's leading goal scorer now. He's got 5. Dynamo really haven't missed Coco in the last couple of games. He may get a 2-game suspension, by the way, for kicking Christian Pulisic. So he, depending on whatever happens in that group, he's going to get a 2-game suspension, and I think so is Tim Weah. I think that's the word that's out there. Okay.
What do you make of? Well, that's the wrong way to ask that question. Ajiman, what does he bring to the team, and how should the Dynamo look to lock him down tonight?
Ajiman, as I mentioned, runs the channels, big, powerful, coming off a 2-goal game, scored against the Dynamo back in the Leagues Cup last year. He was a backup striker. Enzo Capetti was here, an Argentine. He's gone back to Argentina. But he was a backup. He is now their number 1 striker, but they made it very clear. They're going after another number 9. I mean, everybody is trying to do that. So, athletic, gives them real verticality. He's going to be a physical challenge, certainly, but he got a good blend of physical power with Mikhail, and then great experience with Eric Sviatchenko. So, but the Dynamo need a complete performance tonight. They need to play a full 90 minutes at home. You know, like I said, you can look at the last 5 games in a lot of different ways. You can pull the data to make your position look good. And nobody's not saying it hasn't. There aren't a lot of good things going on. But I will tell you, you haven't been playing the top teams in the league. I mean, DC United, I mean, what a train wreck that is right now. They don't even have a good field, for God's sake. No. You know, I mean, honestly, and I don't want to harp on that, but to have that surface like that is so unauthentic. It's bad for the league. It's bad for DC. It just proves they're trying to put as many events on there as possible, and they don't care about their assets, which are the players. Made it a bad watch, and in some cases, you know, somebody could potentially get hurt on a field like that. Yeah. I think their college field's better than that.
I think they're putting their eggs in that. What is it, the USFL or whatever?
Krasinski says hoping for a 2-0 game.
2-0.
Okay.
Jose Juarez.
So was Germany today, and so was Switzerland hoping for a 2-0 game. They got it too.
Jose says I don't want to get technical today, so I'm predicting another 4-1 win.
Okay. It's a lot of goals. It's a lot of goals against a team that doesn't give a lot up.
No.
What else we got? Good reminder. Next week, Soccer Matters is Monday and Wednesday. We have a little kind of a bracket challenge coming up. We'll tell you about in a second. But I do want to remind you of a couple things. Monday and Wednesday it'll be Soccer Matters over on ESPN. I just started something with the help of Little Patagonia Empanadas up in Austin, where on Fridays I'm on ESPN up there, and we do a whole segment on soccer, and it'll include that other team that wears this color that this cat's got on. How does this guy wear green to the stadium? It's incredible. Okay.
It was a Father's Day gift.
It's okay. You going golfing, or you're repping Verde, or what are you doing here?
It's nice and cool in this heat.
All right.
All right. So as Glenn mentioned, we are doing a bracket challenge for the Soccer Matters radio show. It's really easy. Once the knockout rounds are confirmed, I will put up a Google Forms link. You have a bracket to fill out. Hopefully it's more than 2 days, but right now it's looking for 2 days until everything's settled. You'll have until July 4th at 7:59 to submit your bracket. If you pick the correct champion, you'll get this Soccer Matter swag bag, T-shirt, hat, maybe some other things.
Yeah, there'll be tickets too.
Also, if you pick the perfect bracket, you will get tickets to a Dynamo and Dash game.
All right, nice stuff.
And a swag bag.
And we'll remind you of that. We do want you to come back after the game. By the way, Jose, this is a good statement here. He says, we will face a strong team today. Atlanta, Seattle, and D.C. were teams with some issues on themselves. That's true. Today will be a good test on what we are made of. So this is the number 5 team in the East. They've only given up 20 goals. They are 3-5-1 on the road. They've been buoyed by a very good home record. They've only lost once at home, and they're looking to add pieces to it. So, but I think what happened was Dean Smith came in as the coach, made this a more direct sort of type of team. I wouldn't say they're the most interesting team, to be honest with you, but they're effective and they're getting results. Jose says, I'm still rooting on a 1-0 win. Our Genesis says, I hope Dynamo can play with 2 forwards, Ponce and Ferreira. Don't think that's happening. Don't go to the bank with that one, our Genesis. They're too similar, number one. I don't see Ben Olsen doing it with the system he has, quote-unquote, game model. And just don't see it. Don't see it. I don't think Sebas' strength is coming back to the ball, and they're not gonna withdraw Ponce. They want him in and around the goal as high up the field as possible. Now the good news is you're playing with a number 9, and playing with a number 9, I think is more aesthetically pleasing. Plus you got somebody occupying defenders. This could help the wide game. It could really help a lot of things. But I do think that, let's see what type of test this is for the attack today, against a better defensive team with, as Justin said, a goalkeeper that's got 9 clean sheets, 9 shutouts in Major League Soccer. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Got a couple more minutes.
Our Genesis doesn't want Sebas Ferreira to leave. Well, if he bangs in goals, that's one way of him staying here, but I just don't know how you carry a DP. These are the guys that you spend money on. They're the guys that are supposed to determine games for you. The money goes to wingers, attackers, creators, goal scorers. That's where it goes in MLS.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, before we go, again, be sure to like, subscribe, share on YouTube, like on Facebook, follow on Twitter/X and Instagram. Like I said, we do also have. Oh, there's a lot coming in. We do also have our Twitch channel, which I gotta work on a little bit, try to get some stuff there. Come back right after the final whistle. Shortly after the final whistle, we'll have a pregame show or postgame show. Sorry. When we do go live, do me a favor. Share it across your platforms, whatever you have. I gotta share it to yours, and then yeah.
All right. Chris says, "Do you see Sebas getting shopped around MLS?" Well, he's going to be shopped tonight. He's in the shop window, Chris, every game. I think the Dynamo would want him scoring goals and playing well, because then his valuation potentially goes up if, in fact, they want to move him and get that DP slot. Jeffrey says, if Sebas starts scoring goals out of nowhere, it proves to me that his issue was motivation. Possible. I mean, I think that could be part of it. I also don't know if the Dynamo worked hard enough, in the beginning to try to see him out after a 13-goal season, right? But again, that's the prerogative. That's the prerogative of the head coach, and didn't seemingly fit the system. Just Fans podcast. Dynamo can get the victory as long as they keep possession. Yeah, well, possession wasn't very good in the second half of games lately because the team has been fatiguing. They've given up 16 to 22 goals in the second half. So they do have to find that. I also think they got to eliminate mistakes. You don't want to make mistakes against this team tonight because that's how they score a lot of goals. You guys coming back after the game, I hope? Because
Yeah.
I want to hear from everybody after the game. Let's see, what's that? Something. Their right back pushes into the attack a lot, allowing Aliu to stretch, meaning they have to slide over. I guess you're talking about Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the game I watched, he didn't go forward a lot. And Aliu may keep him back. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. But we'll keep an eye on that. Their right back is Nathan Byrne. He stayed at home the last game I watched quite a bit. Unless we weren't watching the same game. All right. Anything else here? It's tough when he doesn't get service and he did fit. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's tough. Listen, that remains the question. When it doesn't matter that they're bringing in another number 9. He's going to need to be serviced. And you're playing a very narrow game. You're not playing an expansive game. You get your width from your, let me try to put my, your 2 outside backs give you width. And a lot of times that comes later after a build-up and moving up the field methodically. Your width from your wingers and your higher guys, Coco's always in the interior on the right, and Aliu cuts in on his right a lot, right? Never plays on the right side of the field. So it's a narrow team on purpose because when the ball is lost, the Dynamo want to be narrow. They want an opponent to go wide with their first pass, and they want to press and repress and do all that. And that's easier when your team is already central. That's how the great Barcelona teams played the game, right? They didn't make passes. In fact, they weren't even... I mean, there was like a rule. They couldn't hit balls over 40, 50 yards. You never saw that team playing bigger passes because they never wanted to get pulled apart so that when they lost the ball, they were all condensed. They were little guys, all these great players, Messi, that incredible midfield, Xavi, all those guys, Iniesta, and they were all tight. So, Ben wanted Ferreira to come back. Ben wants a striker to defend. I mean, that's one of the things he said about Ponce. He says he is a guy that's going to do the work off the ball. There's a lot of theories on that. That's what the coach wants. If that's what the coach wants, the coach is getting that. But there are a lot of teams that will hide defensive deficiencies of players and build their team around that. Dynamo don't want to do that. That's a prerogative of the coach and their coaching staff.
All right, well, we need
we
to get ready for the show. We got to open the windows.
Anybody watching this on Apple with me, or are you guys all going to be? I know what you're doing. You're going over to the Argentina game, aren't you? Oh, you guys are bad.
To hear the local call, make sure you click the alternative option button on Apple TV to hear Glenn's call during the game. Come back right here shortly after the final whistle. We'll have post-game reaction. We want all you guys to join in. It's fun. It makes the show really interesting. Again, like, share, follow, across everywhere. Soccer Matters.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram. At Glenn Davis Soccer, at Soccer Matters, GD. You guys are killing it. We'll do it after the game. Looking forward to it. Thank you for all the great comments, too, in this pregame show. Everybody putting in good stuff. Thanks so much. It's great to connect with all you that know the game, love the game, and want to talk about it. So thanks. See you a little later.
Thanks, guys.